My Sylvanda, I am your Clorinda. We are born to be star-crossed lovers. A blessing, no less perhaps, that despite not meeting more than a few times, your years of letters have scored life for me in words, sent me under a spell, powerful enough to pull me away from visions of everyday decorum and mundane hell. You, my love, have shown me only heaven's fine tune. For the poet in you speaks to the poetess in me. But friendship is all I can offer thee, because of course I am married. While I live, my fondest attention will be my children's. That night you came for me at tea in Potterrow, that warm December, just before you fell off your horse, silly, and had to swallow laudanum for weeks, and were confined to your room for almost 2 months. As I awaited your visit, I looked out from the tenement to an island below, untouched and lit up for the lovers, with mornings that dwindled into dawn and enveloped each other as naked as winter trees. Indoors, the tablecloth was a thin veil between worlds. Time undressed as it waited, harboured a melancholy yearning, soaked in the soudade for those who once sat, but resolute in its stitch of return, of capture, an altar for the living and dead ensemble, for the lost and found, presence and absence, the feast and famine, the meaty claws of the broken heart. I scold my fingertips on the turrets as rock formations under the castle take on otherwise hidden curves in the light, trying on sun rays and haar like funeral dresses in a full-length mirror. The sun here has shot running men. It is molten nickel. For the servant you seduced that passed our notes between us, were you so unable to hold back your lascivious ways as this morning I woke at first light and my first thoughts were of you? I will regain full composure in the distance between us. As the months heat up, I'll set myself to simmer. An aerial view leaves absences of the body. I watch down from the bedroom window. You sleep as the river runs under you. Ideas come as the electricity of summer storms continues to ignite. We didn't stop talking for days. It's in the quiet that understands echo, the heart and the heat, radiation of intimacy, devotion. The moonlight on metal right now is a terrific silk. Though I sit still, I cannot sit still long. What sustains the creative spirit? A beating heart, a restless mind, and a wandering soul. I have this love-drunk obsession with fertile solitude, love and loneliness, these tombstone elegies, the intoxications and the hang-ups and hangovers thereafter, the height of being high, the moments of being. It is only society that forces inner conflict. Here at home, my happiness seems less artificial, less programmed. I am taken more by surprise and uncertainty, taken into dark, sexy rooms. The last thing I need is a legion of counsel offering me options to solve or perceive my predicaments. I just want to hear my own voice, untainted. I am part of the source, and so I am part of the solution, a cure excavated from the poison, you see. You must think me dramatic, but I am yours, you say, and I practice unpeeling the barbed wire to let down the grand drawbridge. Enter, my king, unmount your horse. You must be weary from your travels and your galloping mind. Bow down to kiss my hand. Follow me into my earthly chamber. My imaginings could drive me to delirium, yet I have mastered the art of waiting. And I wait for you with ease and splendid company, with faith. I believe in you and all of your visions. My beautiful owl, hunter of my heart, able to see in the dark, a creature that makes no sound as it steadies over its prey, a bird of the sharpest talons and widest eyes. The amethyst sunset of Edinburgh matches your glow when you tell a racy story or sing a rattling song at a ball. Look at what we have accomplished so far, the deep levels of unconditional love and expanding consciousness we have reached and shared together, the safeguarding of trust that has bloomed, exciting, endless open pockets of desire, the deep growth and understanding, the ability to listen, to ground, to love without caution, to dance without friction, to sing and howl, to commune with the spirits, to dream bigger, live harder, to commit and harness compassion and put someone else's ethical feelings before our own egoic qualms. This is only the beginning of our capabilities as humans to bask in the passion of pleasure, pureness and bliss that we deserve and do create on a path together. But what real future with you when you are a hawk out hunting the next carnal fix for greener pastures, building dollhouses where out of miniature doors maids stretch before me, begging me to ask you for help? I'm glad you listened to me about giving her coin. Now she is pregnant. I know her story makes your heart weep. I'm not sure where I stand with you. You say you love me, but you hold me along with all these other women, and it feels toxic to me. And that's what pathologicals do. They manufacture rivalry, jealousy via third parties in order to feel sought after and in demand. At the same time, making you feel you need to change something or try harder to win their affection. Oh, I'm barely resisting anything but hedonistic slouch today. You are my weakness, and yet so much of my strength. Your voice, your touch, my heart accelerated. Latch onto me a little longer, those glacial eyes exploring. But I cannot absorb responsibility for your behavior. I need to be with someone that has eyes only for me and make sure I know that with truth and transparency, with real, regal, higher one love and respect. Is it collective arousal somehow, your animal urges to fornicate upon desire, a sensation initially spawned in me by you and transferred back through again? I hold my chastity belt high instead of a bloody flag in ceremony, and you find another vessel to ride for pleasure. If your path is elsewhere, how can I ever stop that? Please be honest with me. I don't want to be that cake and eat it. I don't want to be the main dish, but with lots of side courses so you fill up on them until you are intensely lit on all these slyly spiced experiences, and then you leave no room for the grand serving when we finally have some time together. No, you said. Lies. Yes, you did. You collect whenever you want to try and build something behind my back and in a takeaway fashion. And if the food gets cold, I'm always here for you, constantly piping hot, wrapped in lace. If I am the biggest attraction, why do you go sightseeing in the sexual suburbs, bringing back souvenirs? I understand that you just want to be free, and conjugal love to you is not the language of poesy, but what is it that you trample in the hearts of others on that odyssey? Who really are you when your actions don't meet your words? Javelins, spears, flamethrowers, shrapnel, bladed chains, and a circle of knives. My rage is processing this deep betrayal. I cut the cord between us for eternity. Yet what a shame, sham, shaman, with the way you forge language, a rare jewel. I will miss your words and so speak, but it was a snake's tongue at times, and it poisoned quickly, so I will never return for another bite. I cut it to the flames. I have learnt all my lessons here. Everything I loved in you, I loved in myself. If I don't forgive you, I don't forgive myself. Women have that homing instinct, you see, to want domesticity more. All men want to do is fuck their faces off like big wailing walruses. How do husbands cheat and wives cheat? Are they not essentially cheating themselves out of divinity? Who is judged on their last day? How can one continuously cuckold another that they care about? It must be the cruelest, most selfish thing on this planet. What webs we humans weave, I am slowly learning. You are blind to the dead weight in these women that coagulates the blood as months and years of unresolved and open-wounded energies will do more harm than pleasure, for sure. I am so much more than a pawn in the lineup, a stale side piece, passion on tap. I am not a mistress, I am goddess energy. Yet my recent physical weakness was most likely born from the suffering I felt from your passive-aggressive avoidance and confusion after contact with her and the me overlapping, getting entrapped in your head again, waiting longer to face me after, and keeping me waiting in the dark, questioning until my head was full. Oh, but I felt it for days, and I cried in the garden. But I've been blessed with more than you know in knowing you. The love will always be there, but I can control it. I no longer want to be a gullible lady friend. You are not a thorn in me anymore. Despite what we shared being otherworldly, the highs and lows of this passion are too intense for me. And I do believe you have strong narcissistic tendencies and were controlling me. I need to let go of a partnership that I overgiven, even though it feels like the strongest love ever lived and lit up on magical embers. This is my ultimate karmic lesson here, to douse the fuse finally this time. We are more in compound than our karma. I am heartbroken about it, but the amount of energy I've expended over this is more than I have to be willing to expose anymore. I'm sorry, I've seen something in your behavior that doesn't quite work on my timeline at all. I've worked too hard to get where I am, and not to be deflated by the emotional and manipulative tactics of some attention-seeking man who can't face any criticism. I'm going to feel devalued for the last time. I embrace this energy of a life's silence. As you sit and write 3 hours over a bottle, those mischief-making demons you speak of, disrupting your peace but never tainting your honor. Such instant gratification does not do well for me. All our language is spent, and all that is left is eye-fond kiss. I try to forget the feeling and meaning of your lips. How every other after you seemed bland. I wish there were fewer unmentionables in between. More times we let love reign over the Hierophant's stare. When they toasted the bard, let's toast the women too. Who is to claim our impromptu need to connect and unite as human beings? We all have the versatility of the magician. We can all flip at any minute, from romance to sterility, warm yoke to snipped circuit. Nothing lasts. You know, I have this desire for the combustibles, and what inward flame nestled behind those eyes, the bird of prey on the lookout for breast to breast to breast. But you do not know how well I can handle explosives. It is late now. Into the tail arms of Morpheus I fall. Our love will live on in the hearts of many. You've been the most beautiful worship.